Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero site defender of the fatherland. Off you to a glorious, wondrous 1v1 here on Crossroads Winter. In the north is Deus Ex Machina fighting for the Wehrmacht, the German army, Deutschland. Here with a 3rd Panzer Division with strategic reserves, mechanized assault, and storm doctrine, rather than emphasis there on the assault grenadiers, with mine, machine gun, and pack bulletins. Versus south it is F3rig fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Communist Stalin. Here with the 3rd Guards Tank Corps with guard motor coordination tactics with the T-3045, heavy mortars, Guards rifle infantry, vehicle crew repair training, and marked vehicle. We got strategic reserves by the way here for Deus Ex Machina with the assault grenadiers, the Panzer IV Model J, breakthrough packages, mobile observation posts, and the Tiger Ace. Double conscripts, double engineers versus assault grenadiers and an MD42. Worth noting here, Deus Ex Machina has not even built an infantry company, so he is skipping that part entirely and will thus be relying a lot on the assault grenadiers or Sturmgrenadiere. Equipped there with their MP40s. Punishment at the centre there, wiring stuff off there. Western points being seized here under FedEx command. Standard stuff here so far otherwise. Rushing for some fuel pump with MD42. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters, champions and heroes one and all. You too can join their illustrious ranks by pledging on Patreon, or you can consider donating by PayPal to the Propagandacast. Links in the description. I'll let you know, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. Pioneers popping into here, denying the building there to the Soviets. On the west here, assault grenadiers could push for the years, but perhaps he's concerned about something there supporting them. Assault grenadier squad number 2 moving towards the east here, MD40 at the calf point. There you go, engineers versus assault grenadiers. Closing in there fast, we got a conscript on the flank here. I think that could force the assault grenadiers to get out there fast because this is going to be a lot of free shots for the conscripts against the assault grenadiers rather than not really doing any damage, and they are very much, very close quarters units. So he's going to have to sprint closer to the conscripts now. He's going to have to treat the assault grenadiers, I think. Otherwise, he just risks wasting manpower and resources here versus the opponent, in my opinion. We also got fairly fast take here for Deus Ex Machina, going straight into tier 2 with just 2 assault grenadiers running before 2. I'd say most players I typically see go for 3, but there's definitely been more of an increase in players just going for 2 assault grenadiers and pushing fast there. A bit bold there, but as you can see, he's just basically tying up a lot of units, but crucially doing no real damage with them. So it is really a sort of, big question of, is this really a worthwhile engagement? I'm sure he's tying up some units, but even then he can just stand about in the open. It's not like he's actually doing a lot there with them. I definitely feel like you just be treating them honestly and just, pull them back to join up with other forces where they can do more damage. There you go. Finally treats them. Take done. Could go for another assault grenadier squad. Could also like to go for a Panzer Grenadier squad. That wouldn't be half bad either. We shall of course see what Deus Ex Machina does, and we do in fact get the Panzer Grenadier here to support the 3rd Panzer Division. Constantly against the Pioneers here. Machine gun moving up here as well. He's definitely being fairly aggressive with his MD42 here versus F3rig. Soldiers grabbing points back at base. Constantly engineers caught by the MD42. Panzer Grenadier squad right around the corner. We could see he's active threatening to flank up behind here. Deus Ex Machina and hit the calf points. And threat retreat pass. Engineers caught here. So there you go. Bit more formidable sort of force here now for Deus Ex Machina with a mix of MP40s and Sturmgewehrs. There was also for some time known as the MP44 before it got its official name of Sturmgewehr 44. Assault guns Panzer pushing back engineers there, routing them with heavy assault fire here. Sending those engineers packing. MD42 there, flanked by the conscripts. Pioneers with the conscripts. Grabbing the eastern munition point there. Assault guns Panzer moving forwards there. Could he go for another Panzer Grenadier squad? I mean, that would be pretty interesting. Drawing the assaulters towards the head building of the shot blocker there so the opponent can't shoot them in range. Panzer pushing forwards there. I feel like this should have been done slightly different, but there you go. Now flanking with the soldiers from the south, tank from another squad here. Catching the continental sudden rapid pensiment over here. Focusing down there with some well-placed shots. And ultimately overcoming his opponent there, forcing a full retreat here. Is just too many automatics there at that range. Is simply not something F3rig's conscripts could even hope to compete with in their wildest dreams. Well, maybe except that one dream. That one's pretty far out and banned by the Communist Party. He's pushing forward to the flamethrower set against the Pantanus. Their soldiers definitely should retreat as well here. Like to make a nice company done. We'll absolutely go. What I'd expect. No, it's not done yet, but close to. I'd expect an armoured car here. It tends to be quite popular with that, though personally, the strategic reserves plus just such a heavy assault force like a half-tech isn't a half-bad pick either, then, in my opinion. You can lay down Regal mines, obviously, but also you can keep the troops front line, reinforcing, get them changed to the action fast as well. So there's definitely, I think, a lot of utility there to consider in going for the 250 on a half-track here. But, you know, again, 2-2, just very solid all-around choice there. So I don't blame him for going for it. Reinforcing healing here. Not actually healing again. This is all another reason to go for the half-track lamp to heal his troops down the move. In fact, he needs to build a medic bunk here. Like, a lot of assault grenades are in a pretty poor condition, and the Pentagon days have seen better days as well. So it's like either get a medic half-track out there, or, you know, something else there, because his troops are looking a bit rough there. Armoured casting out there for Deus Ex Machina. Tank will be coming out there for F3rig, and we got a second armoured car for Deus Ex Machina. Really committing here to a mobile strategy with multiple armoured cars. So again, I think in this regard, he then really should have gone for like a half-tech supporter, in particular because, you know, he could then like lay down Regal mines fast, been great to help catch up, say, a T-70 and other larger tanks. All the way the F3rig that's going to push for a fairly well-paced T-70 here. Going for the car point. Then we do get telemines. That's obviously pretty good as well there. Thumbs up to Deus Ex Machina, though you should also get some around here as well. The more telemines I'd say the better. In particular in these larger maps where there's more points the T-70 could attack him from. In this regard, having a bit of insurance in the form of more telemines tends to be a good idea. Though of course it might be that Deus Ex Machina is really home to rely on the armoured car to deal with F3rig's T-70, which two of them can sort of work. Pushing the West on the knees, backed up by Consort here. Need to treat the assault grenadiers here. We've got a grenade assault trying to slow down the Soviet advance here. Flamethrower pioneers moving in. Worth noting, no minesweepers then. Has its advantages and disadvantages, but there's definitely some fairly big risks to that versus the Soviets, as this could easily encourage them to lay down a lot of mines, knowing you won't immediately have like minesweepers to deal with that. Pioneers slipping right out. That'd be, yeah, quite a blow there to Deus Ex Machina. He's replacing them, but crucially now there's no way of repairing his armoured cars anytime soon, in particular with sub-engine damage. So that was a bit of an awkward call here. Still, we got the armoured cars doing like damage to the conscripts. Most players typically only stick to one car because managing two armoured cars is fairly micromanagement intensive, which tends to be like, you know, the number one reason why most people don't bother with it. Particularly with the pathing for light vehicles at times, tending to be a bit on the questionable end of the spectrum. Sandbag can't find that, very good. Also good spot to lay down a telemine there. I think honestly more telemines been a great idea than that flamethrower, honestly. Oh wait, building up the bunker there, need some medics on the way there. Trying to get the armor counter position where they might be able to outmaneuver the T-70, land some re-armor hits there, at which point they're fairly high DPS and the ultra cannons can actually take down the T-70, but of course they just sort of punch away at the front. It's gonna be much more favored for the T-70. But even then, you might notice they able to get down just to half health, even like, you know, roughly just firing from the front there, so it's not all bad. But again, the trick is managing to maneuver them into a position where they really have the upper hand there, and that's the tricky part. So it's not, again, a typical, like, you know, choice received from most of our players, simply because, you know, it's just easy to get a bloody pack out instead. You should definitely get the Pioneer support package, just to help with spear repairs and the armoured car on top of it. I think mine's for the kits there. That'll do him a lot of good. Plus, he needs to counter-attack to get back the fuel point here. This is definitely a bit of an oversight there, but Deus Ex Machina and something F3rig will be clearly more than eager to exploit. Machine also having to fall back in the face of F3rig's fresh assault. We also got some guardsmen out there. Pack 40 there for Deus Ex Machina. Minesweeper's also out here, though I don't think he spotted the telemine. He has not. You know, so far, it is yet told to go off under the T-70. Pack 40 right around the corner. Armoured cars heavily damaged. Filling back there with the autocannons. Bit of a close one there. But looks like the T-70 does end up falling back here in the face of fierce and very stiff resistance there from the two armoured cars with autocannons. We shall have to see what follows next here for F3rig. Need to fix up both armoured cars very fast. And again, there's regard getting the Pioneers upgraded would be a very solid idea. At least getting back the fuel pump, but this does help F3rig bring in more fuel advantage of Deus Ex Machina. Assault gun is pushing westwards, and certainly there's also an incentive for him to go for tier 3 as fast as possible, because this unlocks the veteran squad lead upgrade for the assault gunners, adding a 6th guy and adding some minor additional bonuses to the unit. I'd definitely say there's some incentive there as well. Could have spent a force, I think, to pull it off there. You also got mines around the centre. Good work there by F3rig. Do have at least one upgrade in the Pioneers, but he really should consider the Pioneer support package. Also gives an access to satchel charges, which most of the time probably not so relevant, but occasionally can allow to get some really fun kills. In my opinion, anyways. Oh, grenade this also. Oh, they narrowly avoided. Close call there, though, for Deus Ex Machina. Very close call. He is hunting about there. Bit defensive posture. You could actually use a smoke grenade to provide a screen there for the patrols to push forwards. And T-70 does hit the telemine. That means now there is actually very little to stop the armored cars. I mean, Deus Ex Machina just quickly fixed up the other one. Has some really good potential now to really swing the game back against F3rig. If he handles his armored cars correctly. If he doesn't, it's not going to matter too much. But, in most of this, it was a fairly big tactical advantage now for Deus Ex Machina. But again, it does require he follows up on it. It's one thing to have an advantage, it's another thing to actually make use of the advantage. Because there's definitely been many cases where a player has an advantage and then he failed to use it. Similarly, in history, there's many cases a commander had plenty of opportunities before him, but then failed through inactivity to actually exploit them, allowing the opponent to recover them. Not entirely sure why the Panthers were at range. They again could have popped them smoke grenades, make it easy for them to push forwards there as well. Field on the way here for F3rig to help deal with the armoured cars. Again, he could pop a smoke grenade here to help the armoured car get away from the guards instead. Bun grenade instead. I mean, that works too, I guess, but I really think he's just pop a smoke grenade since that, provides more long-term coverage here, but it seems like he's really turned that bun grenade and getting some kills in. In the end, didn't need either grenade, I suppose. North here push for the Coh2 and then with the Unit Escort. Pioneers ready to build the spawn con, then push for the Panther 4 Model J. Cons being hammered on both armoured cars, but yeah. That's going to be an anti-tank grenade on the more veteran one, which is also the more damaged one, costing him one armoured car there. And again, feel like that could have been slightly avoided there, but oh well. Heading the opponent's fuel pump Coh2, even as being hit his zone. MD4 to the flanking and used by the Coh2 there. Support will come away. Definitely feel like you should consider more infantry as well there. More Panther grenades, or even just assault grenades, I think could be an excellent addition here for Deus Ex Machina. As for F3rig, heavy mortar I think could also be a very solid inclusion here, just more guardsmen really. Of course, setting up for tech soon would also be a fairly handy-dandy idea, though he's going to be no matter what behind the armor race here compared to the Wehrmacht player. Going back the Coh2 there, armored car need repairs, troops reinforcing healing. Assaulters are being attacked by 2 squads here. Grenade assault here could work out there if F3rig gets a bit unlucky, I guess. It takes the bait machine gun to assist as well here. So he still needs to get his Coh2 back there for the fuel on the east. Yeah, the guardsmen are really mauling the assaulters, but there you go. Walks into the MD4 2-second not getting suppressed. That's pretty lucky there, but only lasts for so long. But there you go. Field gun joining in here. The fun, if that can be called fun. And let's go force here. Deus Ex Machina to completely abandon the western Coh2 and fuel point here to the Red Army for now. East side, there we go. The sword moving forward, backed up, but the Panzer gonna need it. Panther 4 regular? I feel like if you're going for something like strategic reserves, you really want the Panther 4 model, yeah, with its, better armor and increased accuracy. Mine spotted, dealt with, thumbs up. Got the Coh2 point, you definitely push ahead here, and he really should also consider some assault grenadiers soon, but I mean, it's also like he should be fairly ways up against, Gart Motor, so the regular Panther 4 is definitely fairly unfavored against the T-35. Not like the model yet is much more favored, but at least does have the armor advantage. Can't there push back, so yeah. Not a huge fan of that one. I always find myself slightly irked by players who go for strategic reserves. On now festering armor as well, and they just don't bother with the Panther 4 model yet. It's like, it's one of the commander's main selling points, man. Oh, we got the regular Panther here for Deus Ex Machina. Panther retreating from the curve point. But they've still got some time for in the T-3485. And of course, there's the argument he might be going for the Panther 4 regular because it's fast, but then he could also have just gone for an Ostbend instead. Just that'd be even faster. But there you go, T-3406 for F3rig. Just wanted to do something with the armored car. But there goes Fielgen is actually in a pretty bad position. We got both the armored car and the Panther 4 trailing behind with assault needs to back it all up. Armored car though does go down. He willingly sacrificed. Well, try to lose the Fielgen anyways. He just make sure he gets the armored car. I think is a pretty good idea there. And I think Deus Ex Machina there definitely underestimated F3rig's tenacity here. Almost losing the consort as well there. Could grab the field gun, turn against F3rig. I mean, that would definitely make things much tougher there for the Serb player. There we go. Nice. Securing that in the far east. The soldiers got close being wiped out. We got his massive swarm of Serb infantry flamethrowers. Guards with the grenades here. This could be a wipe here in the assault grenades, which will leave Deus Ex Machina with just 2 squads. And he's already like down, lagging one behind here with F3rig. So, although I do think he needs to go more infantry now. And again, I would recommend Panzergrenadier. But honestly, another assault grenadier squad, as long as he remembers to upgrade the ones he already has and will be getting, it's going to make it work out as well. But I really feel like he needs a bit more infantry as the opponent. Particularly as his opponent will be upgrading his conscripts soon. There you go. T-34 some signaling westwards here. We got engineers basically with some mines here. Good spot there. Thumbs up. Machine gun fire from the T-34 some 6. And it's 76.2mm gun. Pioneers on watch there. Panther going westward to help deal with the socialist armoured incursion in the western fields. Using that here with the Panzergrenadier and their Sturmgewehrs. Machine gun wiped out there. Good kill here for F3rig. Definitely lost the Deus Ex Machina. Guessing a bomb grenade here. Oh, he's going to lose them, I think, at this point. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but something clearly went wrong here for Deus Ex Machina. Narrowly avoids a wipe. That is absurdly lucky, but he does not avoid his opponent running off with the MD42. It seems like Deus Ex Machina was distracted or had some sort of, like, you know, brain misfire. Either way, though, ended up being fairly costly and could have been a lot worse here for Deus Ex Machina. He's also still floating a fair amount of manpower, which certainly also seems a bit questionable under the circumstances. He does at least have both assault grenade squads upgraded with the veteran squad loot upgrade. Constantly being mauled by the MP40s, tearing into their bodies. No pin up machine on the Panther 4. The mine goes off as well, and they're actually taking out some of the conscripts as well, so. But he doesn't get the wipe though. That is a bit of luck there for F3rig. And I imagine a bit of a sour moment here for Deus Ex Machina. Good shot there, but there you go. Field gun trying to hit down the Panther 4. Assault is charging in there. Looks like it's going to go straight for the field gun here. We need to be careful, particularly with just 1 squad now left. And the T-34, which is fairly good as an infantry. Another machine gun there for Deus Ex Machina, but still a bit of manpower float. I'm guessing setting up for the next tank. Hopefully it goes to the Model J this time around and not another regular Panther 4. There you go. Panther 4 on the way there. Sandbags in the west. Panther is pushing westwards. Got the T-34 from 6, number 2 on the F3rig. So interesting enough, we're not seeing any 85s, and he's also going for more regular Panther 4s. It seems a bit awkward, like they're both going for commanders and like, you know, better premium version of the main tanks, and both of them are not bothering with it. That one just slightly confuses me. Retreating in the west, probably hurt the tank incoming. Second Panther almost done here. Second T-34 is almost done as well for F3rig. Running up for another veteran assault from the squad assault here. Already taking some losses there from the guards inside the building. Grenade assault here being deployed and completely blows out most of the interior, but crucially no Soviets as they already vacated the premises. 40 the MD42, and no, of course a 6-man MD42 team is going to get a chance to have Deus Ex Machina to deal with. Grenade assault again, he definitely likes those. I mean, they are quite good in the right circumstances. Panthers, the T-54 for the western, Pack 40, oh, actually the field gun and the Pack 40 joining in here, though most either don't get the shot off or miss. Panther 4 in the east, good to go again. Lost the car almost. More Panther 4 diving in on its own. Pack 4 they're supporting here. That T-54 going to try them right in front of 200 tank and see and possibly also the range of the Pack 40, but it's the Panther 4. I mean, there we go. Good hit there. There's some really awkward maneuvering here from both sides. Oh, the T-54 was ready to the Panther 4, and there we go. Down it goes. Quite a blow there to f3rig. Down to just one tank now. Got a grenade here on the Panther. Conscripts there, but the Panther squad I think will go down unless here Deus Ex Machina has the devil's own luck, and that's going to be then an ace level Panther grenadier squad. And okay, I was about to say he jolly well did it, but like right at the finish line, he just stumbles there and dies. That was really close to them. We got a Panther 4 diving in there, taking out the T-34s and 60. A brutal counter blow here from Deus Ex Machina, but crucially, he needs more infantry. He's down to just 2 squads now, versus an opponent with 4 infantry squads. That is definitely, I think, unsustainable here for Deus Ex Machina in the longer run. He really should just call in more Panzer Grenadiers or Assault Grenadiers, but he really should not, be stuck with just 2 Assault Grenadier squads versus an opponent with multiple counter squads and a guard squad. I feel like that's a recipe for slow, steady disaster here for Deus Ex Machina if he does not replace them. Plus, he's got plenty of manpower. There you go, lost a Panther 4. He's also lost his Pioneers. Starting to look like Deus Ex Machina will not be able to capitalize on these gains, which again is another issue. If you don't have enough infantry, you cannot then exploit the gains you make, the advantages you create. So having enough infantry is quite important. And right now I definitely say Deus Ex Machina does not have enough. Dodging grenade, we're going to grenade assault of his own. Trying through the gaps in there with vicious ease, using the MP40s. Going for more Pioneers, but crucially, still no additional infantry from Deus Ex Machina. Still no infantry. Panther 4 moving in here. Will f3rig now go for the T-34-85 for once? It does look like he's playing that. That one H-85. Got the assaults moving in, they're doing heavy damage in the knees, almost getting a wipe here. There you go, ace level ceased or gained, and there you go, grenadiers. Chucking those grenades, quite a bit of fire into the field gun crew. Oh! Most land in front of it, but still get some damage in there. Field gun, a machine needs to retreat. Ooh, that could be another wipe here, and then another gain. Again, just sheer massive infantry makes it much easier for like f3rig to just launch assaults here and move grenades all into the conscripts. Further losses here, almost getting another wipe here. Brutal hand-to-hand combat here between f3rig and Deus Ex Machina. Contemplating hit from the Panther 4, but he still needs more infantry. Imagine we just had another infantry squad here. I think he'd be much more clean to win in this match here versus f3rig. Get it from the Panther 4. And of course, we need to get that back, that MD-42 before f3rig claims it for the Red Army. We do get an H-5 here. Now, these assault grenadiers are definitely doing some heavy lifting, but they just, like, 2 squads can't lift that much for that long. So he really needs more infantry, either more assault grenadiers or some Panzer grenadiers, but it definitely needs more infantry. There you go, straight into the field gun with the Panther 4. Marked vehicle as well there, and then into a mine. I have no idea what Deus Ex might be happening there, thinking there, maybe misclick. But overall, just diving in with the Panther 4 there seemed like a really bad call, in particular when you also consider there's like barely any infantry and all the infantry's back in the base, so seems like Deus Ex Machina is continuing to operate in a wonderland where he doesn't need infantry. Issue 5 almost done here, currently with no tanks from Deus Ex Machina for it to deal with, by the way, so that's going to be a bit awkward. We're here to destroy the fascist tanks! Oh, they're already gone, so why are we here? Oh. Right then. Well, if you need me, I'll be over here drinking buckets of vodka then. Pack 40 field coming forward, teaming up Neeson side with the assault grenadiers, still flooding manpower, still not calling more infantry. This is not going straight away for another regular Panther 4, I suppose. Maybe he's actually playing the model gear this time around. But, again, oh, he's going for the regular Panther 4. So he just kind of went for the command assembly for the assault grenadiers? Ah. Maybe he was planning a Tiger race at some point, I guess, but just going for command just for the assault grenadiers, they're kind of nice, I think. a bit questionable. So again, we have the very excellent Panther multi accessible in the commander as well there. But he really needs more infantry. Like, I mean, again, the assaulters really doing some impressive work. They're killing a lot. They're disrupting like a lot of F3rig's positions. Just for whatever reason, just like, you know, only got 2 of them. And there you go. Got the E5 with the Telemine field gun combo. Brilliant. Again, mines are, as always, in most cases, a really good investment. So, thumbs up the Deus Ex Machina. That's actually 2 Telemines now that have a significant impact on his opponent. Yeah, that's really good. And really just highlights how powerful the Telemine really is in the German arsenal and why most Wehrmacht players generally should at least try to get a couple of them down during a fight, because they are amazing. But yeah, beyond that though, there continues to be a complete absence of additional infantry from Deus Ex Machina versus F3rig, who continue to upgrade. Well, he's actually lost the contact squad, but hasn't replaced them. He definitely should push more infantry as well, though. He could go for more guardsmen at this point. Honestly, I think that'd be a big problem here for Deus Ex Machina and his assault grenadiers. Basically with Sandmax in the west, T-34 from 60. Again, F3rig just continues to refuse to get the T-3045. It's almost like a political statement at this point. Panther pushing westwards, need to retreat the assault grenadiers. There we go, more guardsmen, placing his influence. And finally, after so long, Deus Ex Machina finally replaces the lost Panzer Grenadier squad. He's finally moving towards something decent there. That really took forever, though. I've only just, you know, get a Panther full model, yay. Or maybe use some smoke grenades on those Panzer Grenadiers. We got 227 to 335. Now, of course, there's no thing is like assault grenades as such, like heavy as MP40 like formations in the German army, at least not on paper. In terms of like an improvisation, who knows? But in terms of like paper strength, nothing really like there. Were actual assault grenades like an entire division known as the Sturmgrenadier Division, the 78th. But they were more like, you know, Panzer Grenadier level equipped grenadiers. That is, they had a lot of light machine guns, they had a lot of heavy mortars and other stuff to back them up with, honestly, plus assault guns. But they were still not heavy on the MP40s. Little fun fact there. That's actually more of a Soviet thing with like equipping entire formation with submachine guns, actually. T-35 there. Finally, someone's going for a premium tank. We got the T-35 on the way for F3rig. Starting up the counter support on the west side, pressuring here the left flank. Pioneers kind of responding, but the guards would make it hard here to close in easily, though he could pop a smoke grenade, then the assault grenade sprint through the smoke to get close here. That could tactically, I think, be a fairly solid movement there. Versus F3rig then. And there's another Telemine there, by the way. Excellent. Unless you're the one running into it. Machine quality with the guard from the counter, the course guards from the heading the east level. Very good. Assault has been hit by the Sod MD429 Veteran 2. Forced to retreat there, and we got the T-3045 out here for F3rig. Panther was the Guardsman, and before joining another Panther for Deus Ex Machina. Forcing retreat here in the center, we've got the Assaulters, the Conscripts. Mauling here with MP4 being caught in the fires here, 19 kills. Sprinting forwards for Deutschland. Another regular Panther for Deus Ex Machina continues to not go for the model, yay. That is definitely a bit baffling. T-35 rolling up for F3rig. That is the Council Guardsman. Mine actually spotted for once by F3rig. Looks like only half the engineers will be shot after this battle for incompetence in aiding the fascists. Assault has been put back here. We got 202 versus 323. Run Muslim victory point. Reinforcement here going on the base here. Pan's going to use Pioneers. Assault guns all getting ready for the next big push for Deutschland. Pan's moving forwards. Worth noting, he actually hasn't upgraded any of his Panzer IVs with pintle mount machine guns, which is a bit interesting. Yes, that's normally a fairly solid upgrade as well. T-35 there roaming about with its 85mm gun. Panzer on the fire here. The soldiers moving eastwards here. Fix up the Panther 4, close the veterans on that one. Pan's going to be creeping ahead here for Deus Ex Machina. Panther 4 setting out. Got it from the Panther 4 there on the T-45. Moving in the west. Moving in the east. Straight into a mine, costing himself casualties. Got a Katyusha for F3rig. Some rather explosive artillery that again could also go for heavy mortar, saved up the fuel for more tanks maybe. 180 versus 323 though. Deus Ex Machina, they really needs like pull off some sort of attack. I mean right now though his opponent is fairly extended, so like one good attack could possibly do F3rig in here. But arguably, the same could be said about F3rig, like one good push for him could easily do Deus Ex Machina. So we kind of like, you know, one of those moments where like, you know, the right push can crush the other. We've got the Panther with the conscripts. Scouting bombarded here. Infantry company, that's a pretty late one. 31 minutes. That must be one of the latest infantry companies I've ever seen. Getting the conscripts there. Right now, the F3rig is, Deus Ex Machina is working himself also quite a bit there. So, like, I mean, there's certainly potential for F3rig to again, like, just crush Deus Ex Machina with a good push. I mean, for example, like, one of his tanks is, like, completely isolated, cut off from the entire force with only, like, a single Panther squad acting, like, as a tether here. And we got the T-45 rolling in here. Infantry could push forward as well there. Mark V on the Panther 4. No, doesn't keep up the push, but the Panthers, they're definitely in a bad spot. And there, go Cook get wiped here again. And there we go, another Panther grenade wipe here on Deus Ex Machina. Pioneers pushing up the center on the west side. We've got to push forward as well there. F3rig being flanked here. In the center, Pioneers being annihilated. T-45 roaming forwards. Panther 4 caught their great hit. Garsman running at Panther 4 could go down in a matter of moments. Oh, there we go. It is down. He's down just one Panther 4. Assault is in trouble there. Katyusha is silent for now. In fact, he's back at the base. It seems like gone about the assault grenades. They're about to get run over by the T-45. There we go. He's crushing them. Literally. Running them over and, well, turn the snow red if the game allowed that. So there you go, GG game mode, Deus Ex Machina, his spirit broken like his men beneath the mighty treads of the T-35 there. Surrenders and pulls back. Bit of an inefficient at times. I'm still baffled like a no Panther 4 model yes, but I do like his assault gun usage. They definitely like did a good part there at times, but there's I think an issue there at times with his, you know, tech speed. Tactically made at times questionable decision, but for strategically I feel like it's really where like the big issue with Deus Ex Machina. Like he should have had more infantry out sooner. I feel like he could have won the match with that. Instead he just kind of did it around, then F3rig slowly but steadily built up an advantage, and then crashed Deus Ex Machina. So that definitely felt like a bit strange at times. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell me. This is Imperial Cheers. Thank you for watching. Until tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.